It's time now to praise the Prime Minister. Praise him for saying that Australians deserve transparency, not secrecy from our politicians. Well said, that man. Except Rex Patrick has since had a nasty surprise on that score, and an expensive one. Rex Patrick is a former independent senator and now a transparency warrior, and he joins me now. Rex Patrick, great to see you again. What happened in your search for transparency?
Well, good evening, Andrew. Look, I, in December, sought access to the Prime Minister's diary. I sought it in a form of a weekly overview, so I don't want to see all of the briefings that might be in there or even the agendas, just something that says, meeting with Sally McManus, travelling to airport, meeting with Lindsay Fox. Whatever the short
we're showing an example right now on the screen, Rex, of such a diary that was from Jim Chalmers. This is an example of what you wanted.
Yeah, something that just allows the Australian people, who of course pay the salary of the Prime Minister, and of course for whom he works, for, just to see what was in his diary, what sort of activities he's been undertaking. And I was very, very shocked 2 nights ago when I received a letter from the Prime Minister's office saying, look, we can do this, but it's going to cost you $1,344. Now, of course, I've been involved in many, many FOIs. It's something of around 300 over the last 4 or 5 years, and never have I seen a charge of that sort of magnitude, particularly in circumstances where if you divide through the 197 days that I was seeking access to, but divided by 7 because I'm after a weekly view, I'm after 29 pages. I'm after 29 pages, and the response from the Prime Minister is, well, I'm going to charge you $1,344. Bearing in mind that once I get access to the documents, and look, I will get access to them eventually because the law is really settled on this, the documents will go up onto the Prime Minister's disclosure log so that every Australian can have a look. So it's not really a request that's specifically sort of narrowed down to me. Every Australian would have access to it once it was released.
Now, like I said, we just showed diary entries released by the Treasurer, Jim Chalmers. Do other people who've had to release them or chosen to release them, do they charge people for having a look?
No, my understanding is others in the Albanese government have provided diary outlines without charge. I've requested diaries. In fact, during my time as a senator, I requested Matt Canavan's diary, and I think that was over a period of 2 years, and I got that also free of charge. So it's just extraordinary that the Prime Minister would seek to do this. I actually think what he's done is tried to put a hurdle in the way to try and discourage me from continuing. Now, I've just had some news tonight, having paid the deposit, which then requires them to proceed. So having said, we can do this, it will cost you this amount of money. Tonight, they've just written to me and said, well, actually, we've decided it's too much and we're going to refuse access just on the basis of it's going to take us too long. So a little backflip inside the agency. I can't explain. I've never seen that happen before. So, yeah.
But why do you want this information?
So, look, I think we're in for a fight. Again, it's just about transparency. And what really causes me to struggle in terms of my thinking, there's no benefit in the Prime Minister not handing these things over, because eventually he will have to. The seminal case in relation to ministerial diaries was actually run by Mark Dreyfus back in 2015. He took it all the way to the federal court, and he got access to George Brandis's diary. And Justice Jaggett, who's now in the High Court, made it.
You're relying on a law that Labor helped to establish. I mean, Rex Patrick, I'm really a god. I can't wait for I'll follow this. I will chase up on you and see where all this goes. Thank you so much indeed for your time. Very interesting.